of the Pirate Friends in the Frostnyrrd Saga. Session title is Hitchhikers Might Be Escaping Convicts, and that will become apparent as we get into it. So just to recap on session 45, so we missed a week last week because I've had the worst hay fever of my life. And the week before that saw the group taken in and questioned for their actions in a shop in which a couple of people ended up dead, and a few things fell out of that. So first of all, Kretel, Cluck, and Ulfar were arrested. Kassar and Duvar, because they sought the help of the guard, they were treated more leniently, and as such haven't been arrested. Now, Ulfar, being his first offence, has been issued with an edict preventing him from killing in self-defence. Kretel has been convicted by his own word, really, and has been ordered to be exiled from the Empire for 5 years' time. And Cluck, who isn't wanted in connection with anything in the shop, but having shown his true face, has been arrested and charged with all the crimes that he's committed in the Empire's town. So he's currently awaiting execution, and that will happen at midday tomorrow. Now, the group have managed to secure passage on a boat that's leaving the city tonight, and if they can get on that boat in time, a certain Captain Steelclubber will take them to the Isle of Stalhelm, where they believe some of Arrow Diamond's notes have been taken. And I think that's it for the recap, so let's throw up the channel and let's go from there.
So I believe we finished up our deal with Mr. Sea Clubber, old Captain, and now we were going to go get Kretel, weren't we?
You were.
Alright.
And you had 2 hours before the boat was due to leave, and that will be running in real time.
Okay. Alright, well I guess we'll start heading back towards Whitegate Barracks then.
Indeed.
Okay, so you will travel across the town and end up at the barracks again. Now, you're not allowed to enter, but if you was to speak to one of the guards, they can convey a message inside of you.
So we've come to enable the release of Kretel, the prisoner. We're aware he has been exiled, and we've arranged transport for him away from these lands. And also we've got proof of this in this slip of paper. Here you go.
Okay, so the guard will take the piece of paper off you, have a look at it, and hand it you back, and then he'll say he will fetch somebody of authority for you to deal with. So, Cluck and Kretel, you are in the castle dungeon, which is essentially an open pit, half filled with water, which you've been cast into. Now, above you, I think we established it's about 50 feet above you is like this gated hatch to the outside, which you were thrown through. And most recently, the person that you engaged in the shop, a man that you know by the name of Apo, has been thrown in, and he was badly injured, and you essentially saved his life by stopping him from drowning because he was unconscious and face down in the water that resides in the bottom.
Right. What type of hatch is on the top?
Like big metal grate. from what you saw, it takes a couple of them to sort of open it, and then obviously you're thrown through it, and then they just let it shut under its own weight.
How wide is the like you're saying it's a grate? How wide are the bars?
Not wide enough that you could fall through it if you was to walk on it. It's probably like, think like jail cell bars. Like you might be able to get your foot through it, but you won't be able to fall through it, if that makes sense.
If it's wide enough to get a foot through it, if someone was half the size, they could probably squeeze through.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'll say to Kratel, if you need to figure a way for me to get out of here, and for you to pick up my pack.
Well, I can try with the pack, but if you escape, I don't know if they're going to be all that forthcoming with that. But we might figure out a way. I might just grab it when I grab mine.
Yeah, say I've just been carrying it for you.
Yeah. Right. I have a plan,
Go on.
but you're going to have to move quick.
I can move quick.
I can make you half the size, but only for a minute.
Oof.
Are you intending that I shrink and then fly through?
And just go, yeah.
Yeah. That could work. Are we intending on doing this now, or are we waiting until, upon your release?
As soon as, because if I do it and you go, for all they know, you can do it yourself.
Yes, this is true. For all intents and purposes,
However,
just head off.
the only thing I'll need is some powdered iron, and I'm sure we can get some from some of the bars or something in here.
Pretty sure these bars are made of iron.
With the water, they'd be rusty if they were. Sorry,
Yeah.
not there.
Fine, I'll run my bloody armour against the wall. That's made of iron.
So we're going to try and attempt to collect some iron shavings.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. It's the only chance I've got. It's either that or the chopping block, so
And that's the least favourable option.
yes.
Alright, David, is there any way we can get powdered iron down here if it means, like, running my armour on the wall or, like, I don't know, trying to scrape some off of some of the bars using his talons or something like that?
Sure. What do I like the sound of? I'm gonna say make an Arcana check because you're trying to essentially fashion some like spell components out of what you've got around you, and you can both do this.
I'm a -2, so oh Christ.
Well, you better do better than me.
Yeah.
Better.
Yes, it is better. Although, based on those rolls, well, essentially you've got enough time that you will succeed. You won't. It's going to take you about half an hour real time to be able to fashion that.
Well, that's all I've got on this front is trying this, or it was either shrink Clark so he can fit through, or shrink the grate so he can be moved.
shrinking may probably be the easier one because these will be harder to hit.
Yeah,
Blow away.
exactly. As it only lasts a minute, but
What's that?
I mean,
60 feet every 5 seconds or whatever. Like.
I hope you're going to throw him.
well, the best part about this spell is it makes your weight 1/8, and if he can fly with his own wings, what's that going to actually do to how far he can move?
Well,
I can fly 50 feet.
well, his wings would be smaller as well, though, wouldn't it? So.
But not as much smaller as the weight difference.
No.
It's
Yeah.
half as small, but an eighth the weight. So yeah, he would gain some sort of benefit by physics.
He would, but then he won't be used to being that small and like would have to
Yeah.
compensate. So in sakes of ease, it won't increase his speed.
I still think you should give him a launch to because
Just throw him like an airplane.
yeah.
What, launching from Cape Canaveral on pad 9?
Yep.
Okay, so Ksa, Ulfa, and Duva, after a couple of minutes, a sort of a guard that is a bit more senior is brought to meet you at the front of the barracks, and he will introduce himself as Corporal Cresthill. And he says, "I understand you're here for a prisoner."
Yes, the exiled prisoner, Kretel. He's been booked passage away from the Empire.
And he will ask you if you've got proof of this.
I'll hand him the piece of paper that we got signed. Passage has been booked on a ship out by the harbour.
So we'll look out for this a couple of times and hand it back to you and say, "Very well, I'll have the prisoner brought up to you now."
Thank you, Corporal.
He will nod and like gesture to one of the lackeys standing by the gates, who will go off toward the keep.
Well, that's one down.
So not quite sure what we can do about the Klux predicament.
I do not know.
Kretel and Cluck, make a perception check.
Starting off good tonight.
Red dice tonight.
Okay. So we're both somewhat surprised as the door to the cells swings open. So just to sort of lay this out for you, there's a the dungeon sort of semicircle, and along one of the sides, like the flat side, there's a bunch of cells, which have like they're open to the water side where you're at, and then they've got cell doors on the other side. That meets a corridor. And in the end of that corridor is a door, and that door's just flung open, and this torchlight has sort of like been thrown into the dungeon area. Not literally thrown, but obviously like the door's open and there's light pouring through.
So no one's actually walked in yet.
As soon as the door's open, somebody's walking through it. Yes.
I'll just say Kretel was. I assume this will possibly be for you.
Yeah, which makes what we were trying to do a bit of an issue.
A guard will step forward and walk up to one of the cells, and he will sort of declare, "The one known as Kretel, step forward."
I step forward.
He says, "Seems that transport has been arranged for you. I'm to escort you to the docks."
And what about my gear?
says it will be collected minus a small processing fee as you exit.
I'll give him a bit of a shitty look about the processing fee.
I'll sort of stand up and say to the guard, I was like, guard, can you give us 5 minutes? 5 minutes with Cretel, seeing as I'm due to be executed tomorrow. I want him to, as he's a man of religion, I'd like to have his blessing for my passing into the afterlife.
Make a deception check, Clock.
Damn.
Oh, this should go. This should go well. I was going to say.
See,
Jesus
the
Christ.
bloody bug dice tonight.
Yeah.
He will say to you that if you've been sentenced to death, then you would have been given opportunity for any last requests, and that a state-sanctioned priest will be with you tomorrow, who will hear your confession. And with that, he will signal for you to step back.
Which I will interject and say it's more I've been travel with him for a long time and know more of his culture's traditions. A state-appointed one would not.
Make a deception check, Kutel.
We'll have 6 on the round, can we?
Yeah, roll out these bad numbers.
Right, 1 second.
My lord.
Oh, Jesus.
Kutel
So
is
we got
currently
4?
setting fire to the virtual dice.
We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 so far.
Right, I used my favoured by the gods as well and ended up with an 11.
Okay.
Still not enough.
Let's see how sympathetic this person is to matters of religion. One moment, please.
Do 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 do.
Oh, he's better than all fire religion.
Everyone's better than all fire at religion.
Yeah, so he will say very well, and we'll sort of stand there and wait for you to complete this. So did that come through, or did I forget to hold down the push the top button?
No, I'm just trying to think what in the world we're actually going to do if he stood there.
Well, you just carry on and say it's part of the right.
Yeah.
The problem is, if he sees me cast it, I'm fucked.
Just out of character, do you have to like be near me to do it?
30 feet.
So yeah, you have to be in that room or yeah.
As you're walking out the door.
I'm about to say I could always glide or hover.
You have to be in.
As you're walking.
Do you have to be able to see him?
That's a valid point. If you don't and it's 30 feet, yeah, he could fly up to the grave.
If it's enlarged reduce, a creature or object you can see within range.
Okay.
Yes, that exact spell.
And its concentration as well. So if Cretel was hit and lost his concentration, it would undo. And if you were, say, I don't know, between the bars at that very moment, it would be.
It'd end up like bloody
You'd have an hourglass figure, Cluck. An hourglass figure.
Just what Cluck's always wanted.
Good for the waistline.
Yeah.
Corset training. Done
Yeah.
quick.
Done with steel bars.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to go.
I want people with real commitment. Do it.
You can just imagine him go halfway through, and then as he comes through, he expands, and then the bottom half, all his feathers are just stripped off him, and the bottom half is completely naked halfway down.
So
I can only imagine it as like Foghorn Leghorn type cartoon.
as I said the guard standing there, I will sort of say to Kratel, I will fly high, and you can bless me as you pass. As if it's like some sort of like religion.
I'll nod. Would we have made enough to even cast a spell by now?
No. But if you're getting your gear, Kratel, presumably you've got a component pouch.
I do.
Then the fact that you don't have it becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, but I can't. Ah, good point. I will turn to the guard and say, "Is it okay if we head up to my gear? I need to take a couple of bits out to perform the ritual properly."
Make a deception check.
That's reaching.
Yay for +5.
Yay for a roll over 10.
It's the guard. The guard actually broke the
Yeah.
Broke the streak.
The guard will say no. That's quite enough. Says if you've got anything you want to say to him, say it now. Then come with me.
I will just kind of do something that looks a bit like a ritual and put my hand on his shoulder.
And apologise.
Yep.
Ah, fun. Okay, so the guard will, once you've done and you step forward, he will open the cell door and let you out. And then after you've gone through it, he will close it and lock it behind him. He will then take you through the next wooden door, which he locks behind him. And then that will climb to a staircase. And then at the top of that staircase is a open courtyard, which he will cross. And this time you're going to the opposite side. So where you went to the left before and you had your trial, you'll go to the right into what looks like office and barracks rooms. And you're taken into a small room that's full of chests. And after a few moments, your gear is arrayed in front of you on the table.
That's not all my gear.
Yeah, but I'm gonna start collecting and say, what about my second pack that Cluck was carrying?
You'll say, second pack? What was in this second pack?
Oof.
There'd be a shield, a sword, a double-bladed scimitar, few rations. The amulet's on him, isn't it? Because he kept it on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to say cuddly toy.
A cuddly toy.
What a bloody generation game.
It's a generation game. He's got to
Very
remember
common
what's in your
generation
pack.
game. Oh, Jim Davidson.
Yeah, there was also some gauntlets as well.
He's been allowed to wear his gauntlets because they're
Oh,
part
has he?
of his armor, or so they presumed. So they just took any like they've left your armor on, but they've taken your weapons and your packs. Make a deception check, Kratel, with advantage for remembering as much about Cluck's gear as you could.
Yeah, much better than I would have done.
Which one is it for advantage? Control or shift?
Shift.
Nice.
Yep, he seems quite happy with that, and he will pass you the second pack, including Cook, did you keep your coin in the pack?
Oh, what, all my money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, including all of Cook's money as well. And he will say that essentially the coin's already been deducted, and when you get back to your stuff, you'll notice that 100 gold is missing out of both coin purses.
God damn.
I like how you critted and crit failed at the same.
He
Well,
will,
both ends of the spectrum.
he
yeah.
will pass you a piece of paper, Critel, and ask you to sign. And as you look at it, you can see it's an inventory that's in each pack, so there's 2 pieces of paper.
Alright, I've removed the gold from mine. Yeah, I will sign them.
Okay. He will then take the pieces of paper and put them in a scroll holder, and then he will take you out, back across the courtyard, out through the front gate of the keep, and towards the entrance of the barracks. And you can see in the distance Kassar, Duvar, and Ulfar sort of standing round there with this, like, unknown to you, sort of like higher ranked military man.
So I would have been gliding up above the metal grate, hovering there, just in case.
Okay.
Actually, give me 2 seconds.
Checking what whether it is verbal.
Oh no, it has verbal and stuff.
Okay.
I was looking to see if I don't have the right meta magic. I can't silent spell.
Oh.
Just have to say it quiet enough then, aren't ya? Just maybe.
Yeah,
down
would I
Tyler's-
see him as we walk past it?
Make a perception check.
Make sure just bend down and do your shoelaces up.
No.
No.
No, you cannot see Clock in the shadows of the keep.
Dice all
Okay.
over the fucking place tonight, aren't they?
Yeah.
Listen, I've tried. I've given you every opportunity to succeed at this.
We've tried. It wasn't even a bad plan. It's just the dice are against us.
We're making an excuse to go over there.
Drop something.
Yeah, drop something, or say, can I just say goodbye to my friend one more time?
Nah, drop something. So it falls down the hole.
No, what I will do though is say, can I have a couple of minutes stand here and just summon my mount so I can at least attach my bags to it?
He will say that no magic inside the keep. You can deal with that in the square. Wouldn't want anybody here to get the wrong impression.
Okay.
You gave it your best shot, Critel. You really did. Solid effort. B+.
In that case, I end up out in the square.
Okay, so Critel is brought to you. The letter you've got from the captain is handed back to whoever had it, Kassar, Ulfar, Duvar, and then the corporal will sort of nod and say that he'll say that this guardsman will escort you to the ship now, and Critel is not to step off it under any circumstances, or he will be re-arrested.
Okay.
I'll take him to the ship. Do you guys want to stay here?
Yeah, can do.
I'll come back if you want.
Okay. Yeah, you make sure everything's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will escort. If I'm assuming he wants an escort, one of us to take him. So
Well, he doesn't mind. Like he's gonna the guard. He's going to take. Oh, he's going to ensure that Cretel gets on the boat.
Yeah, he needs to know what boat it is, I suppose, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the good fortune is the boat.
Mhm.
With a good captain, Captain Seal Clubber.
That name's so sketchy.
Okay, so Cretel, you are escorted to the Good Fortune, where you are handed over to the captain, and the captain is made aware that you are being exiled from Empire lands, and under no circumstances should he allow you to return. And the captain will give you a questionable eyebrow, Cretel, but he will say nothing to this guard, who, after handing you over, will return to the dock and sort of stand at the end of the pier, watching the boat.
You've got your own protection.
On that note, I'm just going to sit on the boat and see if I can think of a way out of this.
Okay. As you sit there, Captain Seal Clubber will walk over to you and say, you know, lying normally costs extra.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Who lied?
He said, well, did you want me to tell them that we were going to Empire lands?
I don't know where they've booked passage to, but how much is extra?
He says, the first one's on me, kid.
I'll nod.
Thank you. Make sure you thank him.
Yes, and thank him.
Yeah, he says, don't much like these Empire types, but I've got to go where the wind takes me.
Well, I'm not a fan of them either.
He says, I can't imagine why. And he will return to sort of making sure that the ship is being loaded properly. He'll start shouting at some of the sailors. So as you look around Cretel on the boat, you'll see that while it's a small ship, it does have cannons on the deck.
You can climb
Cool.
in one and fire yourself across.
I have Featherfall.
I mean, I don't think we've got anything that can help Cluck at the moment. Unless we can open the grate somehow. Goodbye, Cluck. It's nice to know.
I just
Elite
don't
fire
have
up,
any.
Elite Dangerous.
Alas.
next hour and a half, because it's real time. Next hour and a half, we'll just sit around, just cross.
Gotta come up with a plan, guys.
Everyone goes back to the boat and just plays canasta. It's like,
How many? Looking in, can we see how many guards are around?
You think in the low hundreds, based on last session.
Okay. And are they all present in the area where the grating is?
For the ones that you've seen, so there's a few that are in tents, a few that you've seen coming and going out of the keep. There's probably enough in the courtyard to make things interesting. And then you can see them up and on the walls as well, mainly on the walls that overlook the entrance to the city.
Right.
But like the sort of the towers next to you does overlook both the square you're in and the barracks as well.
Okay.
I have a plan that could go very, very wrong and end up worse for everyone.
Would a warhorse assist?
No.
The only
Okay.
other option I can think of is that I've got those seeds to plant.
Should chuck one down into the water.
That may be good, or it may be very bad.
Well, if it makes something grow, we can always.
There's a chance they can make something grow. There's a chance other things can happen.
If it grows something large, it might shatter the gate, and he might be able to fly out from it.
How question is how do you get it in there? I think that's the first problem.
My only other thought puts one of us in extreme danger, most likely myself or Ulfar, because I don't think it would work with a turtle.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
The only
Always putting
thing
the
I can
turtle
think
down.
of at this point is we find a guard in the city near one of the alleys. We draw them in, we knock them out, use their guard's uniform as a disguise. We sneak in and we either, try to get him, or we drop something down for him. It's all I can think of.
There's a
It's
thousand.
not
ways.
a good plan and has lots of ways to go wrong.
Yeah.
We sort of say that maybe someone wants to see the prisoner, and then we do like a quote unquote struggle.
Right,
Low
okay.
chance of success, high chance of death.
Mm, yeah. I mean, we've got time. We can try all of the things. I mean, I can give you a bean each, and you can plant it and see what happens. It does say it has to be planted.
Sorry, remind me, what does the beans do again?
It's a bag of beans, is what it's called. If you dump all the contents on the ground, they explode within 10-foot radius. Which is, in my opinion, a useless way to use it.
Each beam does 5d4 fire damage, so it's like it's significant.
Yeah.
It's 45d4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty tasty in the damage.
Yeah, it's about
But
100 fire damage there or thereabouts if
But
you
the
needed
fun,
it.
The fun part is the effects, not the beans that you have to throw.
okay,
So the effects basically, you roll a d100 and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different effects could happen.
okay. And how many of those effects are useful to us?
I want to say
It looks like 3 to 4.
3 to 4,
And-
yeah.
Of those 3 to 4, at least 2 of them are extremely rare.
So but any of them could be a distraction. I mean, just throwing it out there, literally.
I'm just very aware of how much better their cleric was than us, and there's like 300 guys in there as well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to kill
you're-
myself.
Your idea might be the better one.
It's definitely not great.
no, I'm not on board with any plans at the moment.
And
at all.
fucking magic beans.
I mean, I don't particularly want to throw beans in there and call mass chaos and destruction in there. It's not a good idea.
Oh, the pyramid thing would be cool. Just because a giant.
Yeah, you got like 1 in 10 chance that it's gonna do what we think it might do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the beanstalk. Yeah. What we need is that one wizard spell, which is like something's amazing tower or whatever. It just like springs, just like a pebble.
Unless you know a wizard. The only other thing the only other thing I can think of doing that might be useful is going back and see if we could borrow some of that lady's books.
As in for our journey, yeah, kind of. But she has already lost books, so.
Oh, David, just so I can remove it permanently from my inventory or not, I take it Kratel, when he got Cluck's pack back, it didn't have the hat in. Or did it?
It did not.
Goodbye, hat. Can't trust Cluck with anything. God damn it. I say, unfortunately, my my tricks won't work here. Not with so many guards around.
Well, unless running fast is useful, that's about it.
Unless you can run in and run out and open the hatch before they even know it's you, I'm not sure that it is.
I mean, I'm not exactly the Flash.
Yeah, Clock, at this point you probably realise that the plan for Kratel to meet you at the bars hasn't worked, and yeah, he hasn't turned up from what you can tell.
I mean, where Cluck is now is 130 feet.
Ulfar's gonna rub his hands together. It's like, this never works, but why not give it a try anyway? And he gets on his knees and starts praying.
In the middle of the square.
Yeah, literally just drops, just like, not for very long, maybe 30 seconds or what have you, but it's a good pray.
Okay. Make a religion check.
Third
Duvar
natural one in
joins
a row.
That's not bad.
Hell.
That's probably the best religion check he's ever made.
Yes. So for the first time in what feels like an age to you, Ulfar, you feel like you have a spiritual connection with your god.
Oh,
Bolt of lightning hits the steel grate. Iron grate.
Yeah, and electrocutes Cluck.
You slide just below it.
oh dear.
Make an insight check, Ulfar.
Insight, okay.
Fail.
Okay.
Good rolls only.
Make a good insight check.
Yeah.
We're not jinxing it. Good roll. Good roll.
That should be +4, so it should be 24. I just still haven't updated my thing.
Okay. So, not only do you feel this connection, but you feel that that your god has heard you, and that he is sympathetic to your plight. And while you get the sense that, because he's what's his realm again? I keep forgetting. Stand by.
Stretch it, David. Stretch this.
What did you want to know? I've probably written it down.
Yeah, so he's chaotic neutral in the Frostnyrrd Saga. So he thinks that the sense you feel from the connection is that he thinks your goal of trying to free your friend is just, and that it's something that you must do for the not only for the good of for you as a person, but for the good of the entire world, and that this will actually come round, and like by doing something wrong, you will actually be doing a greater good out of it.
But I get no sense that he's going to intervene whatsoever. He's like, yeah, you deal with that.
No, but because he, from as long as you've been praying to him, he's not been, at least to you, he hasn't directly involved himself in anything. But he gives guidance from time to time, and he obviously gives you his aid. And based on this, you can change one of your spells without a rest.
Okay, let's have a shifty. Like, what do I know? Oh God. Right.
Do you know anything to do with?
The Muffin Man.
No.
You know the Muffin Man?
That's what I was about
I'm
to say.
thinking.
I know the Muffin Man.
I'm thinking. I have a plan, but I don't want to tell Andy what to do.
Lives
But
on
if he
Fruit
had a
Lane.
certain spell, it would be super
No,
useful.
this all needs to happen inside his own god's mind and his mind.
Yeah, I'll try my telepathy thing. I'm just gonna hold my temples and hope you thinks of the
That's
same
mine
thing.
and
I'm
your
thinking of.
mind and
Think about what's in the cell.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
There's water. There's
Iron.
bars.
There's a chicken.
There's a chicken. It's a microwave.
There's cracks. There's Oppo.
Oppo.
Well,
There's a-
partly alive Oppo.
What can Oppo do, by the way?
Die. Oh, surviving is what he's doing at the moment.
You saved him.
I know.
He owes you.
He has not revived yet.
Oh, because someone didn't heal him.
The guards, from what you could tell, the guards didn't care if he lived or died.
Well, we don't.
Might
really
be a good
care either,
thing.
to be honest, do we?
For once in his life, he didn't kill him or put him out of his misery. That's my normal thing to do.
There's still time, mate.
The last thing he wants to do is have a guard come in and he's got Oppo under the water.
I'm going to say this. What's the worst thing that could happen? What they're going to do? Kill you? Yeah.
I don't know when their reasoning for sentencing me to death would be just.
It was
Justified.
just.
Yeah.
Ulfar,
Well,
whatever plan you're cooking up, let's send Cluck a message first, just to tell him what's about to happen. Yeah.
No, before I haven't come up with an idea yet. I was going to say, if your idea was control water, that spell is not going to do it. Like the limits of it don't help. I'm just literally currently scrolling through my spell book to try and work out what's actually useful, which at the moment not so much.
There's nothing that can help you.
Your god's sort of looking at his watch now, thinking, every bloody time. This is why I don't answer. Takes forever.
Fucking pathetic.
You could.
Do you have an invisibility spell? Do you have a
No, he doesn't, but he has something very similar.
walk through walls spell?
No, he has something very similar.
Yeah.
Not walk through walls though.
But wouldn't walk through walls
Ulfar,
work?
do you have anything that might obscure Cluck?
Okay. Maybe as I said, there's a lot of fucking spells.
15 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys do something else while I'm looking at shit.
Yeah, so this is where it does a montage of, like, Ulfar's sat in the square, and while this is going on, like, behind him they build a gallows, they sort of bring Cluck out, the sun goes down, sun comes up, they hang Cluck, then they build a graveyard in the same square, and then they build a grave, and then it grasses over.
I've just got my, I've got a thing in my end of, like, Andy just, like, sat on the floor praying, and you've got, like, the others behind him, like King of the Hill, just sit there drinking beer while the day goes past.
If I could see Cluck, I could banish him to another plane of existence.
It's what I've just put in chat.
Counting cards.
He's trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together.
That should go on Twitter, by the way, Brooksy. Ulfar.
Oh, Just trying to.
What are you again?
I'm a cleric, a
Okay.
Tempest cleric. I smash things. I don't really have. No, I can't cast it on someone else. That's no use. No, that's not going to work. Now, if anyone else wants to look through my spell list to help, I will.
I already have. I've tried to give you a hint as to one that might do a trick.
You might have to re-give me that hint. I wasn't paying attention, clearly.
Fog cloud at high level.
Okay. Let's go.
It won't get him out, but it might obscure a little bit.
Yeah. The radius will increase by 20 feet.
So
So
if you did it at 4th level, you'd have an 80 feet like circle of fog, and you could pinpoint it like 40 feet above the grate.
It's radius, not circumference, so it's double that size.
Yeah.
80 feet above the grate.
Yeah, it literally, effectively, like the entirety of the keep would just be like in a giant cloud.
Exactly. And then by the time, hopefully he can get himself out, and then by that point we could have scarpered.
Yeah, up to an hour concentration. I could do it from
So-
120 feet away.
Send him a message first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's as good a plan as any. Right. Let's pretend I've told you this cunning plan that I totally came up with my god.
Just hear in the back of your mind over, finally.
It was a spell I already had prepared. I was looking at all the others.
I will now be taking on the role of Cord.
Well, yeah, I bestowed him inside you with that healing one that one time.
Please don't put it like that.
Right. Right. So I'll cast Sending.
If you do this, I'm gonna say that it's probably best that myself and Duvar make ourselves scarce before before this all kicks off.
I'm going to be in a side alley as far away from the grate, which I'm going to center the spell on.
I am gonna head towards the ship and hope this works.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So.
There
I
is
can't-
another thing you can do. I don't know if you can do.
Why?
Okay.
Why now, Peter? Why have you waited until now?
Because I've literally been looking through the spells. Stone shape.
Before I can. Stone shape. Stone shape. It only is like 5 foot of stone. Like like you'd have to cast it multiple times to do something productive.
Well, you're talking about a grate that's right next to that's surrounded by stone. So if you did the stone right around the edge of it.
Yeah, but I'd have to get to the grate to do that. Like, I don't think I'm going to have success at that in the first place.
You have to touch it, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I physically have to. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll go with the fog. Okay, I'm sending to Clark.
How am I supposed to get out?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, who's gonna lift it?
wait for it, Clock, because he's going to send you a message.
They didn't lock it when they threw it open. They didn't unlock it when they threw it open. They didn't lock it when they closed it.
Huh?
Yeah, it's just whether or not Clark has the strength to like fly it open.
Push. You got.
Yeah.
This is what your ogre gauntlets are for. If you can't push open a grate, like.
Right. Okay, so sending. Clark, this is Ulfa. We have a very stupid plan, but it's the best plan we have. Fog will appear over the grate. At that point, you have to escape. Fly up and push the grate open, or something. Good luck. Cloud incoming. you can respond.
Yeah, you can respond, Cluck, once.
Yeah, you get like 20 or so words, I think.
I will say, I assume you mean just over the grate. I mean, you mean over the courtyard, and I will try my best.
Okay.
I will fly out to sea.
Okay. Right, David. Yeah, I get 120 feet away from the grate, as hidden in an alley as is possible and out of the way, and I will cast fog cloud centered on the grate, and as soon as I've cast it, I will just start walking towards the docks with absolutely no intention of stopping.
What level of fog cloud?
I'm casting it at 4th level. My last 4th level spell slot.
Okay.
So
as you cast it, Ulthar, just make a religion check.
Oh no.
Another one.
Leave it. Good one already. Don't ask too much of the man.
12.
Okay.
Back to normal.
So
Probably still my second best roll, in fairness.
So Ulthar, as you look at the keep, as you see this fog start to envelop it, it looks much more powerful than you could possibly have casted on your own, and it starts to blot out the entire sort of shape of the wall behind it. And for Cluck, you can just see that above you, it's like a solar eclipse. The light has gone out, and you can't see anything. In fact, it starts to permeate downwards through the grate.
Okay, at this point, I will seize my opportunity and I will fly up to the grate and try to at least try and push it out the way.
Okay, so as you fly up to the grate, you could hear a lot of like shouting and commotion in the courtyard, and I'd like you to make a strength check.
Come on, Clark.
Just an ability check, yeah.
Mhm.
Please.
Yes. I like it.
Okay, as you start to push the grate, Cluck, it will start to lift. Now, it is exceptionally heavy, and when you've seen people like open it, it's taken 2 or 3 of them, and it is taking all of your strength to push it and to sort of like hold yourself in the air. I'd like another strength check.
Christ.
Dig your talons in. Go on, lad.
Like he's mightier than anyone.
18.
Yes.
You cast it aside with a thunk.
And I will immediately just blast out there and fly.
Okay. As you fly upwards, you start to get a scale of how dense and how big this fog cloud is, and it's not until you're sort of like 300 feet above the courtyard that you actually come to the edge of it, and you can see it's sort of filling a area this size. Where's my stream?
Yeah, take that, bitch boy cleric, with your fancy healing. Fuck you.
What am I looking at?
Power, bitch.
That is the radius, or sorry, that is the fog cloud's size.
Yeah. So you can't see anything under that at all.
Okay, no, that's fine. I've literally flown obviously as high as I can, and now I'm just like heading out to sea.
Yeah. So you can hear as you're flying over the city, just like the peal of bells and the blowing of guard whistles, as like part of the district you're in was just like descended into chaos.
If Ulthar makes it back to the boat, can we say to the captain, I think that's all of us. We're ready to head out to sea. Our last companion might be joining us later.
Yeah. So Ulthar, you make your way through the market to the docks, and as you're travelling that, you will start sort of like commotion from about the city as this thing has happened.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's terrible, very terrible. Oh, awful. Oh, what is that? just head down as everyone like goes in the opposite direction to have a look.
And you will make it to the boat where you will find Duvar and Kassar have caught up with Cretel, and they're eagerly awaiting your arrival.
Let's go! Let's go! Boat, go! Go, boats! Time to go!
Seal Clubber will sort of emerge from his cabin on your arrival, and he will ask, "What about your fifth?"
He has some business. He'll be joining us once we're already out to sea. He's got other means of getting out there.
He will raise his eyebrow and say, "We are some distance from the sea. Are you sure?"
Yeah. He'll be able to locate us. Sure.
Yes.
Okay. You're about 30 miles from the sea, just so you're aware.
On the river or sea or whatever.
Yeah, he'll locate us on the way to the sea. There we go.
I presume what Clark meant when he was talking is he's going to fly towards the docks and then out towards the sea from there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
As he flies overhead, you owe me a hat.
You won't even see me probably. I'm so we'd be so high up.
Fly so high up. He just looks
Look like a seagull to me.
bird.
I like to make out at this point I haven't even bothered to look round. to have to look back. I'm just hell bent on
Flying
just
for life.
flying. Yeah. Catching the thermals.
Okay. So, yeah, Seal Clubber will say, "Okay then," and start barking orders at his men, and they will make ready to go to sea.
Yeah, I presume we'll all give him a hand in whatever capacity we're capable of doing.
Yeah, he will ask that you don't get in the way.
Okay.
So they'll
That's right, they can do
raise the anchor, and then they'll unfurl some of the sails, and the boat will slowly pull away from the dock.
I'll turn around and high five Ulfar.
Yes. Yes.
Of all of the harebrained
You did it.
schemes,
Yeah, the rolls.
Fucking did it.
It's literally the beginning of the session, like versus this section, like the opposite end of rolls.
I'm about to say I was bricking it for the strength checks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit a
I'm not
one
sure-
and you just tumble back down into the water. And it's
yeah,
like,
about to say, I'm not
oh,
sure
well.
how many attempts I would have got at trying to lift the grate up.
He's mighty. He was always gonna do it.
Buck's
I
got the
always
strength
said
of
that.
3 men.
well, I did my bit. I got your gear.
Yeah.
actually, oh no, would raging have got you advantage anyway?
Is there only 4th level spells you can go up to?
Maybe
At the
highest
moment, yeah, I think so.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only got 2 of those. So
I literally, I opened Ulfar's character sheet and was like hunting. I was like, what the fuck can I do? Come on.
Okay, so Cluck, you're heading northwards towards the sea, as you've been told, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So,
I don't have another sending spell, so until I sleep, like you're 8 hours before I can find you.
make a athletics check, Cluck. Okay, so you have no difficulty over the course of the next couple of hours flying all the way to the mouth of the river that leads out into the sea.
Oh.
How much ground do we cover in that time?
I am just working it out. I think. What did I say? The ship.
So every so often
Depends on the wind, doesn't it? I suppose.
to try and catch my breath, I will sort of catch a thermal and just like circle in the in the thermal, like every good eagle would.
Yeah, so I've got the ship down as being able to do 3 miles a day. I'm just going to double check. I did write all this down some.
3 miles.
Sorry, 3 miles an hour.
3 miles a day, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty slow.
Walk faster than that.
That's
Yeah,
like
Swim
that's
faster.
like there. That's like just outside the docks.
so 3 miles an hour.
Okay.
So
And, yeah, what's the difference between Askerby and where Cluck is?
27 miles.
Okay. So yeah, he's eclipsed us by miles. No, we're barely.
9 hours.
Yeah, it is the early hours of the morning before the ship gets anywhere near the ocean. But as you get there, so first of all, you've sort of been given a tour of the ship. So let's start off with that.
Okay.
So very quickly,
Awesome.
once the map loads.
I haven't got any vision.
Yep, stand by.
Ooh, shit.
I remember this well.
I will put you on it for now, Cluck.
Okay.
So it's a small sailing sloop. It has it's a one-mast ship. It has 6 cannons. It has the captain's quarters, 2 rowboats. It's like turned by a tiller at the back, and then in the main hold. So you've got the captain's quarters at the back of the ship, and then
I've got black screen.
yeah,
I do not any tokens.
2 seconds, because I just need to change. It's not that map I want.
Du-du-du-du.
Found my happy place.
What the shit?
I'm with the rum.
Oh, I just see it rum.
What do we do with the drunken sailor? What do we do with the drunken sailor?
There's 2.
Yeah, of course. Or 2.
One. So then underneath you've the hull.
The tokens aren't showing up in the stream,
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Isn't
weirdly. Yeah.
That is odd.
You've got the hold. You've got the sort of the magazine, and then you've got the sort of like the sleeping quarters at the front. Okay. So you've all sort of, as night has fallen, you've sort of been shown to the sleeping quarters, and you're there when Seal Clubber will come and wake you himself, and he will tell you
Have
that
we had a long rest at this point?
yes, you will have.
Damn.
So Cluck, you wouldn't have had a long rest because you've been flying for most of it.
Yep.
But Seal Clubber will come and tell you that we're approaching the open sea, and that if your friend is around, now's the time to find him.
You just send a signal. Light
Yeah.
the fires.
I can do loads of those now. I've slept. I'm juiced. I would come out on the surface of the ship, and I will do sending to Clark. I'll just say, Clark, our ship is leaving the mouth of the water, about to head into open sea. Can you see us? Are you close? Where are you?
Right, what the ship looks like.
It's a ship.
The only ship in the mouth of the sea.
It has so many masts, and it's about this long. I don't know. I would know that as being all 4 on the ship, but I don't know. But you've got that. You've got a rough description of the ship,
Can you-
and you can respond.
I'll say I'm hovering in a thermal above the mouth.
Yeah, okay, so
Of the river.
you would be able to see, Cluck, so the ship does have a lantern on it.
Okay.
I can't make it small enough, but from your height, you can see a couple of ships. But there will be, in fact, make a perception check, because it's a busy enough strait that it wouldn't be obvious.
Can I use my passive perception of 14?
Make a perception check.
Oh.
Okay. If this is like a dim lantern we've got, I will use thaumaturgy to make it brighten, so we're more noticeable.
Make a perception check, Cluck.
It gets me to fire arrow into the air.
23.
Okay, so you can see a handful of boats, but based on what Ulf's told you and where you expect them to be, you believe it can only be one of them. And as you fly towards it, you will start to make out the sort of like the outlines of your friends on the deck, looking out into the black, looking for you.
Okay, and I will let that out as I swoop out of the darkness.
And the sailors start shooting at you.
Yeah, so
I'll
presumably you're
nudge
telling
Captain.
Sail Clubber that
Yeah.
your friend is due to. Well, you've told him he's due to join you here because he's woke you up for it. So yeah,
Yeah.
they are somewhat surprised when Cluck swoops down and lands on their deck, but they, apart from a few superstitious sort of looks of not ill intent but ill will, and because sailors are definitely a superstitious bunch, and a few of them don't think Cluck's very natural. But apart from that, nothing else is said or done.
So see, he's got his own way of catching up.
I'll
Just introduce myself to the captain. I assume he's still awake. And I'll go over to Ulfar and just give him a hug.
Give me a hug back. Rustle your hair.
I'll pick you up. Try not to like bear hug you to death.
Yeah. It was a terrible plan, but it worked. So what can I say?
And I'll ask if there's a hammock that I could rest.
Yes, downstairs. Follow me.
I'll also mention his stuff's down there as well.
I'll just wink at Gretel.
I'll just say good to see you.
Tap him on the shoulder.
Where's his hat?
And I will apologise about the hat.
You'll make it up to me, I'm sure. Main
have a
thing
lot.
is you're alive.
Yes. And I'll follow Ulfar down to the quarters.
Giant clock.
Giant clock.
That token is quite huge, isn't it?
No, it is like a river monster.
I dwarf the ship.
So we sail with no interruptions and no problems whatsoever.
Yep, that's what I heard.
Now you've said it.
Will I benefit from a rest now, David?
You'll have ample time to have a.
Short or long?
We'll get to that.
Nice.
So, when you first boarded the ship, Sail Clubber told you that it would take 7 days to reach your destination.
So we're about a day in.
Yeah, you've got about a day's worth. Well, the boat will continue to travel at night, but it travels at a reduced speed. But essentially, the boat will cover 48 miles per day.
Okay. Coolio.
So it is clear skies and a 7 degrees lot of weather, which is good.
Yeah, that's
It's a lot
pretty-
warmer than usual.
Yeah, that's That's like
Summer.
That's tanning
Yeah.
vibes, man.
Well, you are getting towards the end of the month, so
Tanning vibes. Stripped down. I'm getting a sailor's tan.
we're like at the end of spring. Is that fair to say? Like in terms of as
mid-spring. So first bloom is the first month of spring.
okay.
So you've got in fact, I know it is the second month. So the next month is night sun, which is where the summer solstice is.
Okay. So yeah, so we're cresting on the edge of summer.
Yeah.
Cool.
As warm as it gets in most parts of this world.
Yes.
Okay, so over the course of the next 7 days, you will be fed as one of the crew, which isn't great, but it's better than starving. And Seal Clubber will take you up on your offers to work. So, Cluck, you will benefit from a long rest. Now, nothing else will happen during your journey, but I would like you all to roll. Let's see. Say 66.
Cool. Like that was shocking what you rolled.
Yeah, that was really bad from me. Ones and twos.
He literally rolled a 1 every single time, and then a couple of 6s.
Oh, dear. Like you averaged a 2.
Yeah.
And the rest of us were averaged about a 4 by comparison.
I failed so that you may succeed. I took
Yeah.
all of the
Oh,
shit
yeah,
dice
maybe
in
not.
one roll.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe it's like golf.
Yeah, so Kassar doesn't have a very good time on the boat. In fact, he probably gets about seasickness, which slows his learning ability. But everybody else, you get like a basic understanding of how sailing vessels operate. And so, like, that's out of 100. That's a percentage of proficiency in sailing you've just gained on this voyage.
Okay.
Oh, nice. 12%. It's something.
It is.
I've done better in this than what I did smithing.
We need
It
to
makes
mark that
sense.
somewhere.
It makes sense that the Ulfar would do well at sea.
Yeah, probably also the only person that's done a great I've come a far way. I suppose Duvar as well.
Okay.
So like we've probably been on ships before, just by virtue of it. Yeah, and I've got a sea god on my side, so that doesn't hurt. And actually on my side at the minute, for now, touch wood. Yeah, you've probably heard loads of stories from Orpha, like, did you see how big that cloud was? It's like such a fucking big cloud. The biggest cloud you ever saw. How big was my fucking cloud?
Okay, so end of day 2, and the ship will round the Isle of Borsk and start heading south. Scattered clouds, but again, still on the warm. Now, San is waxing, and it's a waxing crescent, and Sol is in the 3rd quarter, just for those that are keeping track of the moon for various reasons.
Oh dear. Have we noticed any irregularities in ourselves since our interaction with...
No.
Okay, cool, nice. I like it.
I'm feeling fine. What are you talking about?
End of day
So-
3. And we pass into the first day of summer.
Midsummer.
10 degrees.
Oh,
Clear sky.
oh.
Wow. Too hot. Gonna have to take off this leather.
And it's not hot.
That man's not.
Day 4, 11 degrees.
Quick maths. Yeah. Oh, it's all good. So was our role for this entire journey's worth
Yes.
of like sailing experience? David?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
I still can't believe nobody made the joke.
Which joke?
Execute Order 66.
Oh my god! Oh, I need to give up my nerd badge. Like, I'm just. It's a failure.
Okay, so on the 6th day of the voyage, on the 3rd of Night Sun, you will arrive at the Isle of Stelhelm. Now, both moons on the previous night were half full and are starting to grow in size now. Sorry, my notes are all over the place for some reason. I made the mistake of organising it by alphabetising it, and it makes it really hard to find everything.
I do not have remove curse prepared anyway, so this is going to be fun. If any of us are under the weather.
Well, you're the only one who can cast it, and if you're turned, that doesn't really help.
Yeah, the problem is like, yeah, I could just take one of my sleeps and prepare it and like cast it on myself if I had any inkling. But at the moment, there's nothing to suggest Ulfar that there's anything wrong with it.
No, but he knows enough about were creatures to know being bit by one is a fairly good chance you're going to get it anyway.
That's
Well,
a good point. Let's do it.
He's not like any were creature you've seen before. First of all, he was a jaguar, which is like fucking unheard of, and second of all, like it like you never got the feeling that he had turned you at all because you felt no corresponding change in yourselves.
No, and all of Ulfar's experience, both in his past and with Kassar, isn't up with were creatures that can change at will. It's been people that have been, under the effects of the curse, and he just chose to check.
This was more like a druid's wild magic than anything.
Yeah. I've just done an intelligence check to whether Ulfar would try just in case remove curse, and I rolled an 8. So no, he's not bright enough. He's not. He's like, I'm fine. I feel fine. The god loves me. I did that massive cloud. I'm fine.
So, why is that like that? That shouldn't need. There.
Ooh. Oh, pretty.
Okay, the Isle of Stelhelm is 300 miles from Askabay. You know, you've just travelled this on a boat for several days. As you approach the island, you'll sort of see it come into view in the early afternoon, and Seal Clubber will sort of he'll take control of the tiller and steer the boat close enough to the island that you can make out much of its features, but he will hold it sort of 500 feet from the island, and he will instruct the sort of crew to fill the sails and to drop the anchor. And he will explain that because of the dangerous shoals around Stelhelm that you can't approach. Now, Stelhelm itself is a pillar of rock that rises several hundred meters out of the sea. It's sort of built on a large bluff. And the only way, Sailcover will explain, the only way to get to the island is to take a rowboat and then climb a set of ladders that have been hammered into the side of the rock.
Okay.
I guess we get in a rowboat.
Sounds easy. Yeah. Let's get in the rowboat. Prepare for the inevitable athletics checks.
Sail Clubber will explain to you that the ship will remain anchored here until the sun will set, and then the boat will continue on its way to the Empire towns on the eastern coast.
Okay.
So he says if you can make it back in that time, then you're more than welcome to continue with us. Otherwise, I can't tell you when next time I'll be here or next time a ship will be here. The monastery is supplied now and again, I'm sure, but it might be some time.
Okay, taking clock. In and out. We can do this.
Okay, so the the rowboat itself is quite easy to maneuver, and you can sort of get it close enough to the rocks that you can, when you get to the bottom of the stair, you can see there's like loops for tying the boats to it, so they stay attached to the rocks and don't drift away.
Cool.
And then it is a straight climb up this steel ladder that has been hammered into the rock.
Fun.
And I would like athletics check from everybody for the climb now.
Do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cluck, you can fly up, so you don't need to climb.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll fly up then.
Kasar, you've learned from your previous terrible climbing experiences, and you're becoming a dab.
Got those thick, wiry muscles, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes about 15 minutes, but after that you've climbed to the first sort of false plateau of this particular bit of rock, and from this point on, the road, the sort of path itself, takes a rough but climbable stone stair up to the main height of the monastery itself.
Break.
And after about an hour, you've made it to the top. I'll just drop down a token so you can see where about. Ooh, that's world's smallest token.
So it's taken us about a couple of hours to go from the sea up to the top. Is
About an
that
hour.
right? An hour total.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from here you can see a much better view of the monastery itself. So the monastery is built from the same stone as the pillar. It's surrounded by rough, thorny trees, and the only plants brave enough to grow there are sort of like grabby, viney type of things like briars and like rough patches of grass and stuff like that. A short wall surrounds the monastery where you can see monks tending gardens of vegetables. You can hear a few hens clucking in the distance while a rooster is perched on one of the nearby buildings closest to the wall. As you approach the monastery, a long-haired bearded man in salt-stained robes will smile at you as you pass through, and he will say, "Peace amidst chaos."
What was that again? Would peace meet chaos?
Peace
Peace
amidst
Chaos.
chaos.
Amid chaos.
Well,
we've had a lot of the chaos part.
yeah, return the gesture.
We could do with some peace.
I'll say to the rest of the guys, let's go get what we came for, and get back to the ship.
Yes. Remind me why we're here.
We're here to collect a package that was sent here,
Oh,
which we
right.
believe might have some bearing in our trip, and it was sent here to a particular person. And we've got the initials, but not a name.
Why didn't I write this down?
JD Monastery.
JD, yeah.
Yeah, Monastery of the Glass Palm. We are at.
Yes.
So
let's go find that parcel, and then let's get back to the boat. We don't have too much time to waste.
of course, should we ask this old man?
Seems friendly enough.
Was it Arrow or Alora that sent the parcel here?
Well, it would have been Arrow,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good sir.
Mm.
Are you aware of a package that was delivered here some time ago?
He will say that we received many packages.
Oh wow.
It would have been received from a man called Arrow Diamond. Do you know of him?
He'll say, "The name is not one I'm familiar with."
I'm looking for a package. Come in the name of JD.
Says, I'm not familiar with that name either.
Yeah.
Are you
That's me
sh-
out of it.
You're welcome to speak to some of the other brothers here. We're all peaceful, good folk.
Where's your post office?
There is no post office. All that is here is the monastery.
Sir, are you familiar with a gnomish woman called Elora at all?
Says, I'm not. We don't get many visitors.
Now, what's the guy's name?
Arrow Diamond, we've already asked. Yeah, he doesn't recognise. Yes,
Thank
then,
you. We'll head towards the monastery, I suppose. Good to meet you.
He says, and you. Peace amid chaos.
Beast of Midgate.
Maybe we should find out a little bit more about the monastery before we go in. What do they sell? What do they do here? What do they produce?
Yeah, but we're going to find that out by going to the monastery, talking to them, right?
Wouldn't you rather find that out before you go into it?
How?
Yeah, the monks.
Asking the monk. Yeah.
Duval doesn't have a good experience of monasteries.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can ask Salt Stained Man if you want. Like,
Want him. So what? I'll ask her what they're doing here, why they're here, why on this rock, and maybe what's. They say they get a lot of packages here. Do you have a lot of stuff come through here? And what do you sell? Do you sell anything on the way out?
He will say, whoa, not so fast, my friend.
I know. Lots of questions.
He'll say, we are here because it is tranquil. The waves, the harsh wind. It's a different way of life. We say that we are the monks of the monastery of the Glass Hand, and we are men and women of peace. We don't sell anything, but we have some small benefactors who arrange to send us food and supplies, and generally the things that we can't gather ourselves here.
That sounds nice. Completely useless information. I'll nod and thank the gentleman. And then just head in. Fuck it. I don't know what to say. Right, let's go. I can't think at the moment. My brain's not there.
Okay, so beyond the gardens, the outer buildings, you will see this large monastery with a set of double doors that are open to you. They lead into a large temple that is 30 feet by 50 feet. At the centre of this, surrounded by ash and stone, is a bonfire that's burning and smokes ventilating through a shaft that's above it. An altar behind it is lit and dressed with candles. On either side of you are piles of bedrolls and supplies, and a quick glance informs you that it's likely that the monks all share this room. There are some monks resting, others are studying, and then there are a few who meditate before the altar.
Probably smells a bit musty in there.
yeah, have you ever been in a monastery? They all do. Like, Musty is the name of the game. Oh Christ!
Turn around, Kassar.
Yeah, so it's like this stony path that leads up to the top of the monastery. Off to your right.
Don't fall off.
It won't let me move.
Oh, sorry, I've dropped you the wrong side of the...
Okay.
We're making our way round.
Slowly.
I could have dropped you at the top of it, but I figured like it was important to get a lay of the surround, because this would be like quite a sort of a well, make a religion check.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like,
All of us?
Yeah.
Connect. Right. Way back to form.
Roll. Yes.
So the climb up to the monastery itself, all of you will feel like a small sense of like the peace of this place just washing over you. This like clanging of wind chimes, it's the strong breeze and the occasional crash of water against the rock. But Cretel, you have a sort of like a mini religious revelation as you approach it, and you feel like just an overwhelming sense of calm and peace, as if even weapons aren't necessary here.
Good to know.
Don't say that out loud, or I will mock you relentlessly.
I was going to say, with a check of 10, I, on the other hand, believe weapons are necessary at all times and must be stowed in the appropriate place.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's not like a feeling like you need to disarm or anything. It's just like like
A
you know,
peaceful feeling.
yeah, like you won't
Do
need
not
weapons
feel
here.
it like any threat at all.
Exactly. It's just like serene.
Yeah.
I guess I'll walk up to this dude at the door, or next to the door, and say, "Good afternoon."
They will say, "Peace amidst chaos. What brings you to our humble monastery?"
My name's Kassar, and these are my humble companions. We seek a package that was delivered here from Arrow Diamond to a JD. I don't know if you're aware of a package of some such description.
He says, "We sometimes receive stuff, supplies mainly, the odd personal correspondence to one of the monks here, but none of this sounds familiar to me. I'm sorry. Do you know how long ago it was?"
We do, but I don't. We were
It was
told.
a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago.
No, let's think. It's before Arrow left to interact with us before. How long's that been, David?
So when you was at the house, they told you Arrow had been gone for several months, but this in itself wasn't unusual.
Yeah, so the parcel must have been sent before then.
The monk will say, I'm sorry, I can't be of more assistance."
David, I'd like to make a perception check to see if, as Kassar's talking to this guy, whether the information or the names, perks up any interest from anyone else in the room.
Okay, perception check.
And it's a crappy one.
You don't notice anybody reacting in any way.
Well, that makes me look different. That should be 13, but
Oh, in that case, you don't notice anybody reacting in any way.
cool. No worries.
The extra one counted.
Got to make sure. Unlucky for some.
Well, talk to the others, see if any of them know anything.
So as you speak to these monks, I just want you all just to make a charisma check, just to see how well you do in like general conversation.
Oh Jesus!
That charisma, was it?
Please.
Oh, Cretel.
What do you expect with a +5?
Where the fuck is charisma?
Yeah, charisma team.
There we go.
Team charisma.
Yeah,
Wait for Duvar. Yeah!
Oh my
Bang it out.
team charisma for the win.
Okay, so after speaking to a few of the monks, you are directed to somebody by the altar.
Okay.
And as you approach this person and speak to them, they will tell you that their name is Janelle Diamond.
Ow. Okay. Oh, it's a relative.
AD.
Yeah. Why do I think it could have been something diamond? That's really obvious.
So you were relative to Arrow?
2 seconds, because that's not linking the token properly. Nope, still not doing. What the? That's because I'm not saving.
Yeah, it's because you're not saving it.
There we go. She will say that Arrow was my father. He was well, she's not seen him for at least 10 years after the death of her mother, and that she had moved to the monastery after her mother passed away, and that she doesn't particularly enjoy discussing her father because, in her opinion, he wasn't a very good father.
Ulfa, I'll lean into Kasara and say, should we tell her?
Say
Like,
what?
Should we tell her? As in,
Why not? We haven't told anyone else.
These people seem peaceful and they don't seem to want to cause us any harm, so I can't see why not.
We have some sad news to deliver to you, my lady. Although he might not have been the greatest of fathers, your father is dead.
Make an insight check. And that can be as many of you who want.
As many of us as we want, okay.
Mine should be 21.
Yep, that's right.
For God's sake, Andy, just do your character sheet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's things that affects like
Fucking
3 things. I've just been unlucky that they
So,
come out today.
Kasar and Ulfa, you will notice. So, Clock, Duva, and Critel, you think that this news of her father's death she doesn't show any outwards emotion. Ulfa and Kasar, you catch that even though she explains she's not seen him for some time, that this news, she does consider it bad news, but she composes herself extraordinarily quickly.
Yeah.
She will say, if that's all you've come for, then thank you for bringing me this news, and she will hand you a small pouch of coins and say, this is for your trouble.
That is very kind of you. We just thought you should know, but
He died fighting a very great evil.
He saved the world, like not being hyperbolic in his act. But we did not come to just deliver you this news. We believe your father sent you a parcel in the last year. The contents of the said parcel could be of great importance to the safety of the world, as insane as that may sound.
She'll say, yes, my father did send me his journal about a year ago. I burnt it almost immediately.
That's a noise Wolfa actually makes.
She will notice your expression, and with a smile she will explain, my father sent me my journal because he knew I would keep it safe up here, and she'll point to a temple. And she'll say, I have perfect recall. I needed only to read the book once and I remember every detail as if it was open before me. With my mind, my father's secrets are safe, and as a servant of the glass palm, not even the gods can steal my thoughts.
That is very impressive. I don't know. The problem is we're not sure exactly what we would ask for in terms of the information that we're looking for in your father's journal. There's a great...
I'd like to see if I think she was lying
Okay, make a insight check.
about burning the journal.
4.
You've already seen that she has almost complete control of her emotions, and you can't tell whether she's telling the truth or whether she's just perfectly in control of her emotions.
God
Right.
damn it, Spark. Ulfa will say, we believe there is a great evil coming to this world that can only be saved by an artifact. An artifact, part of which is hidden in what the island's called. Fuck, I've forgotten. Yeah,
Of
in the lost city of Hearth. Information. We came seeking the journal for information to this place, hoping that.
can Cluck
Well-
forward and ask Cluck to show her the medallion, and say, was this mentioned in the diary or in the book?
I'll
Cluck,
step
show
forward and,
her the medallion.
I'll step forward and show the medallion.
She will say that my father's journal had many notes on this medallion you hold. It's called the Herald's Key. Not only is it the literal key to the temple, but it also reveals the location of the city of Hearth. If you truly seek to find the city, then I will accompany you. We must travel to the Obsidian Mountain, which is where the key will reveal the lost city's location.
Okay, just give me a second while I write all of that down.
It's the key to the city, as well as showing you something.
The location as well. You did not seem to have a great relationship with your father. Why do you wish to travel to the city?
If my father's notes were true, then this might be the most important thing that I'll ever do.
Well, we obviously would welcome your help. That's what we came for, was information and help. However, we're currently chartered on a ship that is not heading in the right direction, and the cost of that journey will be quite considerable. Do you have any means or idea of a way to make our way in that direction?
She will say she does not have many possessions here at the monastery, but she does have one thing, and she will go into the corner and from a small pack she will pull forth a dagger and say that my father sent me this as a member of the Glass Palm. I'm a pacifist and I have no use for it, but maybe one of you can come to use it.
I guess I will accept it and have a look at it. Like, also hold it for any of the others to look at, see if they got a better idea of anything about this dagger.
I do use daggers.
What do we get a sense of it if we look at it?
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, daggers are not really my thing.
Yep. So it is a rare dagger that requires attunement by a creature of good alignment.
That's me out.
So Janelle will actually go on to explain that it retains some properties of the Coatl who forged it or whose scales it was crafted from, and aside from giving a +1 to attack and damage rolls, when you roll a 20, the target will take additional poison damage and must make a Constitution saving throw. If that fails, the target will become incapacitated until somebody attacks it or wakes it. She will also explain that there are several Coatl artifacts that they produced within the city, and it is said amongst her father's notes that if somebody could come into possession of several of these artifacts, they would gain the gift of flight of the Coatls. Essentially, the mechanically turn is like if you have 3 of these items and you're attuned to them, you will be able to fly.
That's pretty cool. As a point of like it attunes to someone of good alignment. The ones of us, if we pass it around, that have like a good alignment, like get a sense that we could use it, and the others not, or how do we? Yeah. how does that transfer to us in terms
So from handling it, you feel that only Critel and Ulfar will be able to attune to it.
The two who have nothing to do with daggers.
of? Wanna flip a coin?
I don't care for weapons so much at the moment. I've got a decent enough one. I just need armor or a better shield.
Okay, well, yeah, then I'll hold on to it for now until a better option comes.
I will add it to your D&D Beyond card at some.
Cool. No worries. He's just gonna stick it in a bag for now anyway. That is very kind of you. Also, how much is... Right, actually, no, I'm not going to do it while we're still talking to her. I'm not going to go through the coin for it. She just gave us.
Already looking to flog it already.
Yeah.
In fact, sorry, my notes are incorrect. I've said dagger when in fact it is a longsword.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm interested.
I've just had a look.
Yeah,
I'm
interested.
It's 1d8 or 1d10. So
Yeah, it's a long sword.
Yeah. If it's a longsword, now I'm interested.
Okay, so roll a flip a coin for it, Critel. Do you want ones or twos? You call it, I'll roll.
are you
Two.
all...
Two, okay. Yay, you get the...
Twos it is.
Okay, it's been added to your character sheet in Foundry. You would need to attune to it, though, Critel.
That's easy enough done on the next part of the journey.
Yeah, we've got a long way to go.
Janelle will say, like, if this truly is as important as my father said, then, you know, I will not accept not coming with you.
We are... I turn to my friends and say, I don't think anyone here has a problem with Janelle accompanying us.
I have no problem with it as long as you are aware of the risks it will entail.
Can
Yeah.
you hold your own in a fight?
She will explain that, while she is a pacifist, that all the monks of the Glass Hand here believe that if they come to harm, it is the will of the world.
Put my head in my hands. Oh no.
As long as you've got some form of survival instinct.
She will sort of smile at you and say, like, you know, that I will not seek my death, but if death comes for me, I will face it. I will face it with eyes open.
Okay.
Brave of you.
We do
Okay.
not have our ship for very long. We have to make our way back to it.
We should be heading straight off. Do you need to collect your possessions, or are you pretty light on those?
She will grab a small pack that contains everything that she owns very quickly. It's clear that the people here lead a very simple life.
Come then. Let's be getting back.
Okay, so as you turn to leave, the friendly bearded man from outside steps into the temple, and you notice immediately he's holding his abdomen. Blood pours from his robes, splattering onto the floor by his feet, and with tears in his eyes, he tries to speak before collapsing dead. Behind him, you can see a group of cloaked and heavily armed figures. The leader of the mob, a woman with 3 scars across her face, like claw marks, hisses like a cat when she sees you. And you hear, before we roll for initiative, take the girl, burn the temple, leave none alive. And at that point, we'll have initiative.
Okay.
My token suit. I've got to zoom in.
You bloody do it, didn't you?
Yeah. Did that do it? There we go.
Click on the character somehow.
Yeah. Right click on character, click on the little shield.
Combat state.
Yeah,
I did it.
I see everybody in there.
Well, I'm a quick paladin today.
Not quick enough.
Oh yeah, first by matter of dexterity.
Burnable Shadow's hand.
Yeah, it gives them all
Okay.
a random prefix.
I like the satirical one, where he's just gonna sit there and crack jokes.
Serviceable.
Alright, he does.
Twosome.
Idiotic shadow hand. Nice.
Kassar, you are first.
Oh, there, I'm a shadow hand. Okay, if that's all they've done so far, I think, how far am I away, actually? I need to... Oh no, that's not what I meant to do.
About 80 feet.
I'm about 80 feet from them.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the main one who just told everyone to burn down the temple.
The woman.
Take out the leader. Yeah. Cast Hunter's Mark on her, and then shoot her. I guess pull my bow out and shoot her twice.
Shoot her!
And I'll try to aim for the eye socket. So I'll use the sharpshooter feat.
That's
as well
what she
on
looks
both.
like.
Oh, she looks like a bad tattoo.
Yeah, but don't hit the wrong eye socket.
Alright. First one. 15?
Is a hit.
Is that all you
24 damage. 28
We'll
damage.
do 28. And the second one.
Oh.
Oh, it's
Oh
9.
dear. Oh
That
dear.
probably won't hit.
A 9 does.
Oh, this better than you go. It's a hit.
And
What was that? 20.
Oh.
28?
28, yep. And I'll say to the others, I'll say, protect Janelle, protect the temple. And ask the monks if they could quietly step back and let us deal with this for them.
They could help.
Did you hear the word pacifist?
Yeah.
And
They
if
could
their
they could
death
help by
happens,
being a
it's the
meat
way of the
shield.
world.
Yeah, if they could help by being a meat shield, but that kind of feels evil even for Kassar. And that will end my turn.
Okay. Then on the, 2 will approach, and they will heave the doors of the temple shut.
No, this is not good. They're gonna burn all the insides. But
And
they
that-
haven't got the girl yet.
And that makes you your turn, Critel.
Heave the doors open.
Okay. How large is this room? Like, how tall?
In the centre, it sort of leads to a open top, and that's probably about 5 feet in diameter, but say it's probably comfortably 60 feet tall.
There's no doors or windows, is there? Other than the main door.
Only like a place for the smoke to escape at the top.
It was more, I just wanted to know if the room was big enough for me to cast Enlarge on Cluck.
How big would it make Cluck?
Double the size in all dimensions. His weight multiplied by 8.
So 12 feet. Yeah, Cluck. It could comfortably fit a 12-foot Cluck.
And he gains an extra d4 to damage.
Oh, Christ.
D4.
Yes, could comfortably fit a enlarged Cluck.
Sort of turned around to Cretel. I was like, before I was expected to be shrunk. Now I'm just like looking at myself, sort of swell. As I become even more swole.
Although, unfortunately, I don't think I actually put it into game. Hang on.
Oh, mate.
So there you go.
Okay. So Cluck, you feel yourself grow in size.
Feel the power flow through me.
Although you have, like, not that the Cretel could have any contact with, but you did choose the last person in the order of operations to be.
So for intensive purposes, you are a large creature. Now, under the rules, that means that somebody could ride on you. You're big enough to mount a character.
Yep. And as there's a hole in the top, and we need to get that woman out.
Oh, you genius! As long as he doesn't die.
That's why I asked about the route. And
Yeah.
on that note,
Oh.
that's my action used, and I'm done.
I want to see a giant flying cluck. Yeah, we all ride him like the giant eagles.
Yeah, David, in the sense that he's rideable, is that like he could probably get away with like 2 people on him, like a horse, like that rideable? Is he elephant rideable, where we could all just climb on the
No, like 1 for if that person wants to engage in combat. 2 if it's just like riding.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So is that you done, Cretel?
Yeah.
Right, Tuval, what are you gonna do? Cretel's just done something awesome. Your turn.
Well, kind of look up a clock and go, oh, well, I have no idea. I was just going to park myself by the door and see if they decided to come in.
Well, no, I thought you were like, I thought I was being made big, so I'd be like, oh, now you just charge at the door and like run through the door, knocking
I
everyone
mean,
out.
it's up to you what you do. I mean, you're just now massive.
Oh, dear.
Okay, well. I suppose what I'll do is I'll just go up to. I'll go to here and put myself in a is it a ready action or something like that? So if somebody comes through the door, I can attack them.
Okay. Ulfa.
Okay, I am gonna go to the door. Oh, I need to. Okay, I'm going to the door, and I'm not gonna try and swing it wide open, but I see if like there's any give in the door, at least initially. Like, are they holding the door closed? Have they barricaded it in some way? If I'm gonna push on that, what happens? Hello? I can't hear anybody.
No, we're going to hear you.
Yeah, David, you've gone really quiet, like to almost like to the point where you're not hearable.
This is
Yeah,
just
David.
talk-
David's not coming through.
No, I feel like I can just about like hear him, like is a tiny whisper, but
I've got him up at 200% and I can't hear anything.
And now?
yeah, we
Ah,
got
there we are.
Yeah, I must have just dislodged my headset slightly. I said if you push the door, you will feel weight behind it.
Okay.
Do you wish to attempt to open the door? Because at the moment, I'm kind of giving you a free sort of like test of it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try and push open the door. Fuck
Okay,
it.
make a strength check.
Just a straight strength. Yeah.
Mm.
13.
The door does not budge.
Okay.
It's sort of like you push it and then you feel it spring back into place.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna set the place on fire. That was what my thought was.
They still want the girl though, so they can't really set it on fire until they have her.
That may be the case, but I still reckon. Then, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, bonus action. I'm going to cast Spiritual Shroud, and spirits of sand and lightning will appear up out of the ground and just envelop me in a shroud. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Bunch of stuff happens out.
Pardon?
A bunch of stuff happens outdoors.
Okay. But nobody comes in, evidently.
Nobody comes.
Okay, so.
Cut.
Right. Are we intending to fight these off, or are we just intending to try and get out of here?
Who are you talking to?
I'm just sort of saying it in general, not.
If we just
Personally,
leave, they're going to kill the monks.
You probably want to
We need to
get the woman
protect-
away.
We need to protect Janelle primarily, but we need to protect the monks as well. This is their place to
Yeah.
live. And it
Or-
wouldn't be
or
wouldn't
just-
be right if we just left them to this fate.
Okay, in that case, I will. What's her name? Is it
Janelle.
Janelle.
Janelle? I'll go up to her and say, "Hop on my back. I will fly you out of harm's way."
What a terrifying visage that must be.
Yep, she will. She'll look oddly at you, Cluck, but she will climb onto your back and hold on to you like a mini backpack.
And I will spread my wings, try not to. I'll stand in the middle of the room and then spread my wings, try not to knock out Kratel and Kazar. And then I'll fly up onto the roof.
Okay, so you can get to the roof.
And everybody outside freaks out as a giant chicken explodes out of the roof.
I should have said, did Kazar want to hop on as well? Use the roof as a vantage point.
Would have been a good idea.
It's okay, buddy.
If I put you, I'm going to put you by the front door, Cluck, so you can see. In fact, I'll put you over here because you can kind of see the outside now, but you're essentially on the roof.
Okay.
And you can
Is
see.
it like a slanted roof, or so will they be able to see that I'm on the roof?
Yeah, it's like like you're on the sort of like think of like a church tower. In fact, more like a Roman temple with it's got like a mini temple on top. You're kind of in that.
Okay.
But I can't give you line of sight out of it without. So for all intents and purposes, you're where Janelle.
Can't miss a giant chicken too much, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. So yeah, I'll just sort of fly up onto the roof, try and put her in a safer spot as I can, and just sort of stand ready with my shield, just to try and block any potential arrows or anything.
Wait, does the shield grow as well? I'm assuming not.
all of his items grow with him.
Oh, does it?
Oh, Testudo!
I just want to see this cluck with his tiny little shield, holding his tiny little shield in front of him.
And basically holding a cutlery knife instead of a sword.
Yeah.
As a point of reference, as part of my shroud, any of them, if they're within 10 feet of me, their speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Mhm.
Just that. I doubt it will come into it very much, but just yeah.
Okay. So on the woman's turn, Cluck, you will see that she will dash towards the temple, and as she gets to the sort of the edge of the temple, you will see her transform into a hybrid.
Lovely.
Hybrid.
Cat person.
Jaguar?
It's the cougar from the shop.
Jaguar, baby, yeah.
And then I'm gonna put you there. So that's the temple.
So yeah, I'm technically on the roof.
Yeah, so you see her turn into this this jaguar, and she she will run and sort of like run up the pillars that hold up the sort of front porch, and she will come to land on the front of the roof facing you,
Oh shit.
and she will say, "Hand over the girl, take your life and flee."
Fuck you, bitch.
Like, yeah, can I just take flight again?
On your turn, you could, yeah.
This is how we do it.
Perfect. So, and then she will take out her longbow.
Did you just say she dashed?
She can
Or
dash
you
as
did.
a. She has cunning action.
As a bonus. Okay.
Ignore the fact it says Apo. I've just copied that. Okay, so she will shoot at you twice with her longbow clock.
Okay.
Rolling a 23 on the first,
Yep.
and a 20 on the second. Oh wait, did you say you're using your shield?
Yeah.
Did you go to dodge?
Yeah, I did say I would.
Okay, so that'll be a 20 or a 23, so that's still going to be a hit. And then I didn't hold down control.
So
15.
I think even that hits, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that puts me at...
I think you're 15 with your shield.
yeah.
So
Your shield's +1 though, right? You are remembering that.
D&D Beyond does it
Okay.
automatically.
sort it out, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's plus 3.
So you take 11 points of damage overall.
Oh no.
So what was that you cut out?
You've taken 11 points of damage overall.
Okay, let's I'll add that in.
Yep. So I can apply it in Foundry, so you just need to keep Beyond up to date.
Yeah, I've done D&D.
Kasar, it is your turn.
Quite sure what to do with myself. I'm gonna move to here. I'm gonna ready get action that if the doors open, I'm gonna fire up the closest thing I can see outside the doors.
Okay.
That's an enemy.
Yeah. Outside the doors. There's no one good outside the doors. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Critel.
I'm gonna go and try and open the door.
Okay. Make a strength check with disadvantage.
David, if I as though I was seeing Kratel do this, could I help him in the act of using my action on my turn to push the door?
No.
No, okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fair. I suppose if I had it as like a saved action, as it were, and kill someone, I could. But yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. So you feel a heavy weight against the door, and like people like you feel like it's being braced from the outside. Critel?
Yeah, I was looking to see if I had anything bonus action wise that would be useful here.
What's drinking a potion? Is that?
Action.
That's an action.
It's an action.
Okay.
That's a point. What happens if Cluck drinks his potion while he's already big?
I double in size again, don't I? One would assume.
It becomes a Type 7 transporter.
He explodes.
I
You
don't
can't
have
gain the
anything else
effect
to do.
twice.
Target size doubles in all dimensions and its weight is multiplied by 8, so it's the same.
You can double a spell effect though, which essentially the potion is doing. So that would be like two people casting enlarge on you, and they both wouldn't be able to take effect. Is my audio coming through okay?
Yeah, you're okay.
I'm just making sure I'm getting a lot of silent pauses and like, did they hear that?
Yeah, I ended my turn. It's Duvar now.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay, so we have an issue where we can't open the door. And we can't get through the ceiling hatch because the only way up is left.
Not necessarily, I could always tie some rope.
You'd have to use that in your turn and you're busy fighting something.
I won't say anything because yeah, I lay out it would be seriously metagaming for me.
I've had the same problem. Okay. Well, okay. Okay, well, let's give the, fuck it, let's do what everybody else is trying to do, let's give the door a push.
Okay.
Can I hold my action until Ulfar's turn, and then push the door with him? Is that possible?
You
If
can
he's going to push the door.
You can certainly hold your action and push the door if Ulfar pushes the door.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not pushing the door. Because I think this is a better plan. Right, because I don't have my line of sight. I'm going to cast Shatter 5 feet out on the other side of the door. So I need some con saving throws for anyone within 10 feet of 5 feet of the other side of the door, if that makes sense to you. I'll just... what's that? And...
So you're trying to do it the other side of the door.
yeah.
Okay.
So...
There?
Yeah, so that's a DC 15 Constitution saving throw for anyone within 10 feet.
And you're not trying to catch the door.
Yes, and also anyone that is within 10 feet of me will get a little bit extra. Oh, a really shitty bit extra. Okay, yeah, so just it's DC 15 Constitution saving throws for anyone that. So,
Is it half damage if they succeed?
it's half damage if they pass.
Okay, so
Anyone that's within 10 feet of me will either take 23 or half of that. Anyone further out that's more than 10 feet from me won't take an extra 2 or 1, depending on what it is.
Oh.
I can't believe it's double 1. What a fucking waste. That I just think, do I have any other bonus actions I can do that would be useful? No, that's my turn.
okay. So for the purpose of this dubai, I'm assuming you've just said like on 3, and then the next person that tries to push the door, you'll just help them, unless it's your turn and nobody tries it.
Yep.
Okay. Clock. You will see. You will see people scrambling up onto the roof beside bricks.
Oh, David, I've just remembered something as a point of reference. Where is it? I need to check what it is. There's something about they should be pushed if they if they failed because of something. I just need to find what it is. Where is it?
Non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage.
I have a thing. Where is it?
When you deal lightning damage to a large or smaller creature, you can also push it away.
No, it's lightning, not thunder, so don't worry, because I think, that's thunder. Yeah, that was what I was looking for. Thanks.
You've seen 4 people climb onto the roof clock, but they don't have enough movement on their turn to do anything else.
Okay. I'll poke my head through the.
And that makes it your turn.
I gathered. And I'll sort of poke my head through the thing and say, Bricks is a were-jaguar, giant cat creature. They're all scrambling to try and get up on the roof. I'm just sort of shouting that through the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Fly away with a woman.
If I fly away, where am I going to go? The island's not exactly very big.
Far enough away that they can't hit you with missile weapons. That's just dash. You get pretty far.
I will take out the rope from my. Oh, no, I haven't got the rope, have I? Because it would have been in my pack.
Yeah.
Oh no, I assume I would have picked it up, wouldn't I? While we were on
you
the boat?
definitely would have picked it all up while you was on the boat.
Yeah, so I will get the rope out of my pack and I will lash it around. I assume there'll be some sort of column or something I can lash it onto. And I will lash it around and tie it up and throw it down into the onto the floor below.
Okay.
And I will just I'll just say that I'll fly off and get her to safety. Use this to climb out if you can't get out, and then I will proceed to fly off.
That's a good roll.
Mhm. The rope catches fire.
Now it's a game to climb up the rope.
Yep. So, Cluck, you're flying what away from the
Away from
The
them,
temp-
effectively. So I'm
Yeah.
flying. Yeah, so
So-
I'm flying away.
back to where
To
where,
safety,
where
effectively.
where the boat was, or are you planning to stay on? So if we go back to the island. So, the only sort of place away from the temple is back towards your boat.
Yeah, I'll sort of head out towards the boat, effectively.
Okay, so that's going to take you 10 turns to get there. You will be in range. So you can move 40.
So 180 feet, 2 turns.
Yeah,
I will also I'll also go into a rage.
Okay.
At being hit.
Okay, so so you're going to be in short range for a couple of hits, and then you'll be in long range if she doesn't pursue.
Even if I was to use an action surge and then dash.
If you used an action surge and dash, you would get another 45 feet, so that would put you. So you were like 30 feet away from her. That get you 90, 120. Her long bow is short range up to 150, so you'd be in short range for another turn. And then she's got 600 feet of range on it.
But she's at disadvantage at the long range.
Yeah, she's at disadvantage from 150 onwards.
So yeah, you have like a round of being hit normally, and then she'd be at disadvantage to hit. Yeah.
If she doesn't pursue.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll use my action surge and then I'll dash.
Okay. Okay. So on her turn, Brix will say, "Fools, stop him!" And she will chase after you, firing her longbow as she does. Rolling a 9 to hit, so missing with the first shot, and a 14, which will deflect off your shield as you flee.
Nice.
And then she will run across the length of the roof and sort of stand at the edge of the temple as you fly away. Kassar, it is your.
Do I see the rope that's fallen down is on fire?
Yes, because like it's been tied and thrown through, but the opening is directly above the bonfire that's in the middle of the temple, so you can see that the rope's starting to catch and burn like a wick.
Okay.
How far was it from the roof?
From the temple,
That's 60 feet out.
Yeah.
I think we said about 50 feet,
Okay.
and
I'm
the
gonna-
bonfire's like 10 feet across, so it's like stacked up quite high as well.
I'm gonna ask the druid by the door, or he's a druid, right? Yeah.
Monk,
Monks. Okay. I'm gonna ask the monks if there's any other way out of here.
they will say there's no other way out. We're people of peace. We don't need
Escape route.
we don't need escape routes.
No, you do, don't you?
I'm not sure I agree.
If this is what the universe wills, then we face it eyes open.
Ugh.
In which case, I'm gonna take the same action as I did last turn, and I'll ask guys. We need to get the door open. We need to get out.
Duval's at the ready. You want to run up and push the door open?
Still at the ready, yeah.
Then my turn.
Okay.
Same ready action as last turn.
Okay.
You're not even gonna like pull the rope away from the bonfire.
He's been burnt enough.
Afraid of fire.
In that case, I'm gonna try the door again.
Okay. You can give yourself. So, Duval will remove the disadvantage you would have normally.
Oof.
The door, despite your best efforts, does not budge.
We sent with the one person with strength out.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. I take it pushing the door is the action.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm
Right.
gonna move towards the fireplace then.
What are you planning?
Run away!
He also has wings.
I do,
Oh, yeah.
but the idea is on my next turn, take the thing out of the fire, tie it to the table beside me, if it's long enough and there's enough left, and then, yeah, figure out what we're gonna do from there because we can't get out the door.
Oh, we just haven't rolled high enough.
Yeah, we really shat those rolls.
Duval,
The potion of stone strength, would that give me extra on my roll for opening doors?
yes, because it increases your strength to 23, which I believe would give you, rather than a +0, like a +7 modifier.
So I'm going to drink that.
Okay.
Because, you know.
Okay,
This is
for the
great.
next hour, you have a strength of 23.
Yay!
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll ready myself to push the door for next time.
Well, look, you've got a +7. I would just.
+6,
I
sorry.
can't,
That's
plus
it.
six,
You've
but I
got
can't
+6.
open. I can't push now, can I? Because I've used my
Yeah,
action.
that would be your action.
Okay. No worries.
Ulfa!
Okay.
Trapped like rats.
Okay.
Can I give myself temporary strength on this, or do I just add +7?
You can just override your strength to 23. Just remember to put it back to 11 after you're done.
Okay.
You mean
Yeah, sod it. Like, Orphar's gonna like shoulder to the door again. Yeah. So
3.
disadvantage. Yeah.
This is about.
Is control correct?
Yes.
Oh, it didn't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I couldn't seem to get it to work on it, so I just hit it twice.
So 15 on my strength check.
The door does not budge.
Could have done with that 20.
Could have done with that 20, yes.
Okay, then as a bonus action, I will bring my spiritual weapon into existence. Giant floating ball. Okay, and I am going to use it to. I'm going to make it materialize on the other side of the door. I'm going to use it to hit the door. Now, if someone is leaning against that door and is in the way, that's their prerogative. But that's what I'm going to do with it. So it would be /d20 +7 to hit. So that is a 13 to hit the door or whatever's between it and the door.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to roll damage?
Yeah.
So that will be. That was a 3rd level, wasn't it? Yeah. No, second level. So that's 10 points of damage.
Okay. You hear a thud on the door.
Okay. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Kretel, make a dexterity saving throw.
I don't like these.
not your forte. Oh, David, just as another point of reference, with anyone that's taken damage from me that's within 10 feet of me can't regain hit points until their next turn. That's just a thing that is part of my shroud. Not that they've been hit particularly hard, so.
Okay, Kretel, you do not jump out of the way as a number of flasks are hurled through the top of the temple.
Oh dear.
Fire flasks.
Alchemist fire it's going to be.
You can cast Tidal Wave, right?
Magical fire.
Okay, so at least one of them will catch you.
Dunk.
And shatter, coating your armor in a viscous liquid which immediately catches fire.
Napalm.
Oh dear. Is there any water inside this temple?
You take 10 points of fire damage.
How very dare they?
Hmm. Trying to remember where I put the fire tokens.
Fire.
Me and Doom are just ramming into this door again. Just, ah!
Yeah.
What are you guys doing back there? I've not looked behind me, so I didn't realize how close Kassar was. Fire. What can we do?
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Stone can't burn, right? For long.
It's more the contents of the...
yeah, it's the oil or whatever it is that's inside is the problem.
And you will continue to burn, Kretel.
Toasty Kretel. We've got 2 burnt people.
There's not really much I can do about it yet.
I don't want to smell my thing.
Need someone to go and put them out. Use the rug in front of the door. Or something.
Yeah, it needs to be smothered, which is problematic.
Okay, Cluck, I assume you still fly away.
Yep.
Okay, Bricks will shoot at you once more. And a 9.
You cut out then, because if you said 15,
Sorry.
we didn't hear it.
Yeah, a 15 and a 9.
So the 15 would hit, I think, based on previous rolls.
Yep, now, Cluck, your rage would have worn off if you didn't reuse it, because you weren't hit last turn. So would you have used it in that case?
I would have.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, then you're going to take 5 points of damage. And then you will hear a a cat-like yowl, like somebody's just kicked a panther.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother to look.
Okay. And in fact, people in the temple won't hear anything. Okay. That brings us round to your turn, and if you weren't aware of what's going on behind you now, the intense heat.
It's lapping at your feet, sir.
Yes.
Oh my. I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna try and put out Kratel, the flames on him, by throwing something over him and patting it out.
Okay.
Like a blanket or something.
Yeah, something to that effect. Something's like lying around or whatever. I'll try and smother him with it a little
Yeah.
bit.
So grab one of like the sleeping bags or something from the floor.
Yeah, just hit him with it.
A monk's been lining for years without it being washed.
Flame
Hey,
retardant from all the
better than on
grease.
fire.
Okay.
Yeah, just try put him out.
Okay. I'm gonna say.
I wait for Dave to go. I'm gonna say no.
You're on fire.
I'm trying to think of what sort of check, and I'm leaning towards maybe medicine, maybe survival, maybe just dexterity, and I'm thinking just dexterity.
Dexterity, straight up.
See how quickly Mike jumped on the dexterity check.
I'll take that over medicine. No, I got an 8.
No.
Okay, you do not succeed in smothering the flames. Your technique is, so rather than smothering him, you're sort of like hitting him with it, and
Yeah.
it's just having an effect of just fanning them.
That sounds about right. If the
What
bed
are you
catches
doing?
if the bed catches fire, I'll just throw that into the flames and just back off.
I was expecting you just to throw it into the corner, setting another bit of the temple on fire.
No, I'll throw it into the flames. I'll throw it into the middle of the flames and just be like,
Just feed the fire.
better than throwing it somewhere else and setting something else on fire. Like, yeah,
Drop and roll.
I don't have anything to put this out. Guys, no help. That'll end my turn. Is there anything else I can do?
This is like the it is a Simpsons episode where they go to that his old house, and they're just he's just sort of running through it on fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Kratel, it is your turn. You will take 1d6 fire.
That could be worse.
4.
I will move out of the way of the fire and stop, drop, and roll.
Okay. Just make a dexterity check. Yeah, you do a much better job than Kassar putting out the fires.
I'm going to assume that's my action.
Yes.
And most of my movement in getting myself up.
Yes, but you feel much relieved.
You're much better for it, yeah.
Any bonus?
Your vestments are a bit burnt and charred.
Literally the only things I can do with bonus actions is Compelled Duel, Hunter's Mark, Searing Smite, Shield of Faith, and Misty Step.
You could run away with your message. Oh no, it's not quite enough. That's like 30 feet or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyone peering down through the hole?
It's quite difficult to tell. The top of the temple now being covered in a thick black smoke. So the roof is starting to be obscured. And I'll point out, there's no woman left in the temple for any of them to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. We knew that was a thing.
What are you gonna do, Duvar?
Is it my turn? I'll go.
Unless
will be,
Patel's
yeah.
got a bonus action he wants to do.
No, if I can't see anybody, then I can't exactly like command them to jump in.
Right, do
Right, I'll give with my additional strength. I'll give the door a push.
okay. Make a strength check. Okay, you throw open the.
Yes, you do. Thank fuck. Jesus.
And we're met with a fuckload of people.
Yes, and you are, like, for all intents and purposes, you've badged for it, so you will end up here.
Okay.
Now, what you can tell is, once you're outside, you can immediately tell that they had started to pull back from the door, and the two people by the steps have got flasks in their hands.
Right. I see. So let's see quickly. So we'll use a. Can I use a flurry of blows then? Let's use a flurry of blows on these people. On the one attack on each one, so each one that has a flask.
The ones at the flask are at the back.
Oh, they're at the back. Okay, I'll just use two then. Unless I can do a running round. Can I run around them?
Unless you take some sort of action to avoid provoking,
Dodge.
you will take a few hits.
I'll just tack these two right at the front then.
Okay.
Right. Let's find my thing to hit with. And that's one attack, and I'm watching. Oh, Jesus Christ! And the second hit.
Are you doing them one on each?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any particular?
No, not really. I was going to say that the guy below me would be first, and the guy that's to the right of me would be second.
Okay. So the first one hits, second one does not. You said you wanted to do flurry of blows?
Wasn't my push the action?
You might be right. In which case...
So push with action, flurry of blows gives me 2 extra hits.
It would only give you it after the attack action. So if you don't attack,
okay.
you can't flurry of blows. Sorry, I wasn't...
Okay. Okay.
So you get a key point back.
Yeah, I get a key point back. Okay then.
You can do any other bonus action.
Oh, I'll put myself in a dodge stance.
Okay, patient defense, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Ulfa.
David, what are the rules about me inhabiting a space? Like if I was to like jump directly into Duvar's space and like, so that can I stay in Duvar's space?
No.
You can't end there, I think.
You can pass through it.
You can pass through, but you can't end your turn in someone else's space.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pass through for double movement.
Yeah. No. It was my. Oh God, I didn't mean to close the door. It was dependent upon me being able to be in the same square. He's not here. There's a door protecting him. Okay. From behind you, Duvar, you will hear Orpha go, "I'm sorry, my friend." And Orpha's gonna thunder wave.
Okay.
everyone indoors is shielded because there's like walls between me and them, but it's gonna hit everybody in the front courtyard.
What's the
I think it's 15 feet.
There's at least a couple of monks who are gonna get hurt.
No, because like the force can't hit them. Like physics-wise, it's coming out from me. There's things between me and both of them, I would think.
If it's 15 feet, that's a 10-foot circle, isn't it?
It's a 15-foot cube, in fact.
Close the door again.
cube?
Open the door.
Yes, that's what it says. 15-foot cube. Sorry.
Diameter.
15-foot cube originating from you. So it's 15 feet away from me. So 15 feet radius, I think.
Cubes don't have radius.
No. So
Do you mean it's 15 feet in every direction, which forms the cube?
15-foot cube. It isn't wonderfully helpful in that regard.
Because a 15-foot cube means everything within 5 feet of you, whereas everything within 15 feet of you.
Where's the spell?
Put it in chat.
So, sweeps out each creature in a 15-foot cube originating on you.
Yeah, what I failed saying. It was always like in the past we've always rolled it as it's like essentially just 15 feet in every direction, but that might not be right. In fact,
15-foot cube around you would literally be every space around you plus yours.
yeah, if it were, yeah, it was a.
If that's the way it's worded.
Okay. Wonder Wave is not. Thunder Wave is not centered on the character. So you can aim. You have to be on one of the squares of the cube.
Okay, so okay, then I will be aiming it in the best way to catch the most people in the courtyard.
Which is like.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Duva. Right. Let me just find it so I can give you your saving throws. Thunderwave. There we go. And I'm casting it at 4th level.
Channeling is in Aries.
Yeah. That's a DC's 15 Constitution throw, and anyone within 10 feet of me also take a bit more. We'll take 9 or 4.
Duval's going to hit you with his staff several times.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you're not doing your channel divinity on that, yeah?
Oh! Thank you. I will. Sorry, Duva, this is going to hurt a lot. So
If he fails his Constitution save, that is.
So what that? Even if he doesn't, this is going to hurt a lot. That's 40. Yeah, 40 plus 9, so it's 49 damage to anyone who fails.
Oh.
And
Ugh.
Just like to let you know, I have 51 health.
sorry.
So 49 to anyone who fails.
49, 24.
Hey, you passed though.
So you take 24 points of damage, Duva, and anyone that fails is pushed 10 feet or something.
What was the if it was 24? Was it?
24 to anyone that yeah. What have I done? I've just I can't.
Is that in character? What have I done?
no. I was just I can't do any healing because I don't have a cantrip to do that. But yeah, that is that's the end of my turn.
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
Duval
yeah.
may not feel the same way.
It didn't apply any damage to me.
I've not yet. I was wanting to
I
see.
thought it did it automatically.
No,
I
that's I do it automatically, but I was trying to see whether or not it was something that you would proc your thing against.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, but the
It's not a dex
bacon is
save.
Dex.
Yeah. So that's 24 points of Duvar. So yeah, there's like a massive crash of horrible noise, Duvar,
Right.
and
behind
like from behind you, and the 4 people surrounding you are just thrown into pillars and into shrubs and stuff.
and
My
drop.
next turn is to turn around and smack him one, by the way.
I think that's totally justified.
Any bonus actions for you, Ulfar?
I don't think I can do any of my bonus actions. I
You've
think they're all
got
spells.
your what's it called?
Oh, my spiritual weapon, of course. On my spiritual weapon, I will move to the. There's this one. One of them looks bloody, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But he's not within 10 feet of me. Yeah, I will move my spiritual weapon and hit him.
Just for the point of reference, everybody inside the temple, you've just seen the other door blown off its hinge as well.
20 plus.
Does it put out the fire?
No, because the blast was
I crit
aimed
fail
outwards.
with my attack on the guy, so the spiritual weapon doesn't do anything. Yeah, that's the end of my turn. I think. Yeah, that's everything I can do.
Cluck, you're still flying away. No more arrows come your way though, and you feel pretty safe. Now, how long does that spell last, Kratel?
Minute, so 10 rounds.
Oh, it was concentration, wasn't
Yes.
Probably should have been
it? Please
So
make
I
a
need to
constitution
technically do
saving throw.
2 con saves.
Still carry him. Carrier. At least he's not carrying 12 people.
It's 1. Just do that again.
You're fine.
There you go.
So, Cluck, I'm assuming you're going to continue flying towards the ship, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So, for intensive purposes, Cluck's out of this combat, but you will make it to the ship before the spell ends, but only just.
Run the world clock. Come back.
Sarah, it is your.
Why did she just disappear out of the turn order? That worries me.
Oh, okay. I guess.
You don't need to worry about that. The turn order's for me to worry about, Ulfar, not for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna head to here, and think I'm gonna use my bonus action to put Slayer's Prey on this fella here, and then I'm gonna shoot him once. Why is someone pointing out the bottom guy?
Oh, say, is that the one you're shooting at?
No, I've targeted the one I'm shooting at.
Okay.
For 12.
Does not hit. It's deflected by his arm.
Okay. And 24.
A 24 will be a hit.
For 23 damage.
Okay, that will bloody him.
And I think that is all I can do in my turn.
Okay.
Moved my full 25 feet. Sad little stumpy boy over here.
It's like you in real life. But don't worry.
I'm walking more like Frankenstein at the moment.
Okay, Ulfa and Duvar make a dexterity saving throw.
God damn it. Not my forte either. I presume this is not against a magical thing.
Nope.
Saving throw. Oh!
Alright,
Oh!
Ulfa, you dive out of the way as a flask of alchemist fire strikes Duvar. And Duvar, you take 11 damage.
Can I use deflect missile on that one?
It's definitely a missile.
Does it say thrown weapons at all?
It says deflect or catch the missile when you are hit by a ranged weapon attack.
Yes, you can attempt to deflect missile, but we're gonna have to work out because normally you have to reduce the damage, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
It says when you do so, the damage you take, the attack is reduced to 1d10 plus 12.
Okay, if you match the attack roll, it won't crack.
Okay.
Which I think is pretty fair.
Okay.
So, Ulfar,
So,
you
I
see it
need
coming, you dive out the way anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to. Is this a dex save as well?
You've done your dex
It
save,
says-
so do your 1d10 plus 12 to try and catch this this missile.
1d10 plus 12.
Just let it come into your body, nice and slow. Very direct.
This is definitely Kung Fu Panda territory
Andy,
now.
Andy says
How
that to a lot of people.
Hold on, I'm hitting what, a 20? What am I saving against?
You're rolling a 1d10 plus
Yeah.
12 to try and catch the flask of alchemist fire that's been thrown at you.
Based on
Yeah,
whatever the other guy rolled.
and what do I have to roll?
18.
1d10 plus 12, and you have to roll 18 to meet that dex check for the thrown thing.
Because it doesn't have
17.
a damage roll, I've used the hit modifier instead because
Yeah.
it's kind of not a magical attack, but no.
I didn't do it. It was one less.
Yeah, so you take 11 points of damage unless you use your evasion because it is like a dex save was involved, so
Yeah,
you can
okay.
evade to take half of that.
I'll evade.
So 5 points.
5 points, but you are now on fire.
Yay, I love being on fire.
Maybe you'll
Total
forget
stew!
I'm gonna go up and hug that guy.
what
No, I'm gonna hug Alpha.
Just get waved again. He did come off his first time. Oh dear.
Okay, Cretel, it is your turn.
Okay.
I know we've hit our time, but in fact, we'll do one more round and then end it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, I'm going to toll the dead on the one at the top.
Let's see if someone fails this wisdom save. Because famously, it's always been passed so far.
Yeah, it is a reputation. Nobody's
Like, even at DC 16, it's like
Which
almost
isn't a
always
bad
been
DC.
saved.
Yeah.
No.
The dead has never been told.
This guy.
At the one at the top, I can't remember how to do the hand.
Every time.
Alright, in that case, I will then also put a oh no, I can't. Never mind. I will end my turn there.
Duvar, you will take 3 points of fire damage.
Assuming you're adding this onto my account.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah, you'll need to keep D&D Beyond up to date, but apart from that,
Alright, okay. Okay. Okay.
This way, you'd be completely down if you failed that con save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So things
True.
are good.
Things are good. Things are fan dabby dozy.
Alright, Kassar will help you with your burn scars.
He knows
You'll come
ways
to
of
love
fighting
them eventually. You'll come to love them.
How much fighting can I do while I'm on fire?
You
Just
can
about
do a normal amount of fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like- Yeah. Fuck it.
Charge at
Um,
them.
Yeah. I'll move to here,
Mhm.
and I'll attack the guy to the north twice, and then use oh, fucking hell.
Flurry of
what
blows?
do you mean? Flurry of blows. Thank you. To the guy to the south.
Okay. It's a miss.
One miss.
That he's still.
And then the guy to the south is a miss.
Missing.
Is it just one extra attack?
You get
or is
two.
it two?
He's also still alive, but he looks very badly wounded.
Okay, that's been done.
Ulfa!
Okay. First question. These two bits of fire, is there space between them for me to pass through them
Yes.
comfortably? There is. Okay.
Not
Okay.
comfortably. Like you'll feel intense heat and probably burn yourself slightly, but it's not going to cause you any points of damage.
Okay. Cool. Okay. I'll turn to Kassar and I'll say, kill the deckheads or put out the fire. Kassar.
Oh, if we could get through, get rid of the claws first.
Okay.
Get rid of the weirdos first.
No worries. Then I will move around.
You've got your fancy weapon thingy out there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Bringing my shroud with me. So, okay, so I will hit this one in front of me
Mhm.
with my javelin. So that is +6. So it's 25 to hit.
You know you can just roll it from your sheet, right?
I can, but again, I haven't updated it, so it would be the wrong plus to hit and stuff. So, also, I've got to roll the damage separately for this anyway because of my shroud. So, 2d8 plus.
He's the worst at this, isn't he? Everybody else is fine. It's just always
Everyone else
Ulfa.
like imports their sheet. It's all up to date.
So it's 13 points of damage you take.
I should take some damage off you just for the inconvenience of having to apply it manually. He drops down dead.
Okay, and so I'll use my bonus action to use my spiritual weapon to hit him, the other guy there. So that's 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
So that is 3d8, I think. Let me just
So
double-
sometime
make
this
sure-
week, Ulfa, you are going to message me and we're going to come on here and we're going to sort out your character and all your attacks so they're clickable, okay?
Yeah, but he won't be available after today.
I know he
Until
goes
next
into hibernation.
So
I was
that's
gonna say it's got to be done before the end of tonight, otherwise.
no. I'll make time for it. That's 16 points of damage on the end.
He also drops down.
And I do a dance. That's the end of my turn.
Take Cluck out the turn order. Okay. Ulfa and Duva.
Mm-hmm.
From the roof, you hear screams as the claws that had gone up and thrown a load of fire in jump down on top of you.
Fun. What? That's like a 50 feet jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is this going to be some sort of like
And they took no damage from that jump.
I'm getting to the damage.
I was gonna say.
No, you worry about the damage.
some sort of like dex saving? I don't know.
I was gonna say like they're fancy Jaguar cat people who can just jump for no reason. Just
I would like strength saving throws from Ulfa and Duvar.
okay. 17.
Okay.
23.
Neither of you are knocked prone.
Yay!
This is good.
What's my shriek on?
And then they will get a single attack with advantage as they drop down with their daggers.
Okay.
So 2 on each. So the first 2 on Ulfa.
Two? No,
Then
only one can reach all far though.
That's a good point. Okay.
Have ya?
Good save. Good save.
I'll shield the reaction, which gives me a 23.
Okay.
Armor
And then on Duvar, he will crit.
class. Sorry, Duvar.
Oh no!
Not your day.
You're
You
not
alive?
my day.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Okay, and after doing that, they will drop their daggers and pull out their short swords to finish you off, and that's where we'll end for tonight.
Oh no! Duvar, what's the hit points looking like?
I don't know. He
9.
hasn't updated it in D&D Beyond.
9.
He's in single figures.
Oh dear.
Oh dear!
Oh dear.
Okay,
But
Dear.
everyone in the initiative order next 4 rounds is us. So, like, we should be able to.
after the fire.
Yeah.
So, that's it from us. We'll be back next week, barring another bout of severe hay fever. If you've got any questions, do feel free to drop us a message in the chat. Give us a follow. We do appreciate it. We are here Mondays from 6:30 UTC, which is 7:30 GMT, 8:30 European Central Time. And if you're in another time zone than that, then you're just going to have to work it out. Thank you. Guys, anything you'd like to say?
Cheers.
Donate to the Duvar Survival Fund.
Yeah. Sorry, Duvar. I really am.
I don't think you are.
In typical Ares fashion. That's the ghost of Ares, that is.
Yeah, it's inhabited for a moment.
Perfect. So I'm going to have to run because I've got an early start tomorrow. So thank you. Cheers, guys.
See you later.
See ya.
Wait.